Everybody, we are live once again doing some side split stretching. We're here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern to do some practice. We're practicing consistency every single day, hoping to build a little bit of community because I'm here every day, you're here every day, and eventually it's going to be some community. Hopefully, together we can suffer on the floor a little bit and make a bunch of progress towards our side splits goals. And with that, I think it's time. Let's get into some side splits. And by side splits, I mean we're warming up. We're not actually at all anywhere near close to side splits. Kayeta, welcome back. Oh, okay. Quick sip of coffee. Let's go. Hip cars, high knee. Open up that hip. Keep that knee as high as you can. Rotate the leg as high as you can bring it. I'm going to spin over so you can see what that looks like. Try to get the knee high. And then rotate, 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 rotate. Bring that ankle up. And then bring the leg down and back. Flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes. Pull this knee behind you. Try to keep your body relatively straight. And that is our first demonstration one. So now we're going to go do 10 on the left side, 10 on the right side. Don't worry if you couldn't catch everything that I said. I'm going to do them nice and slow and talk about it all the time. Let's go. High knee. Open up that hip directly to the side. Keep the knee high. Rotate the ankle as high as you can. Bring it. Bring the leg down and back. Flex those hamstrings. Flex those glutes. Pull this leg behind you. That is one rep. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Whew. 10 hip cars on the left side. Give yourself a quick second to catch your breath, to pound out those hips, and let's move on into part 2. By part 2, I mean we're just doing the other side. Let's go. Feel free to hold on to a wall for balance. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Leg down and back. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Whew. 6. I was thinking about my form for a second and I forgot to count. I'm pretty sure that was actually 9. I think I did 2 reps while I was there. And that's 10. Whew. Okay. Those are hip curls going forward. Let's start doing some hip curls going back. Guy that says, I keep coming back. I love the stretches. Lovely, lovely. Keep on coming back. I love it. Lulu, welcome back. Okay, hip curls. Going backwards. Let's go. Bring the leg back. Flex the hamstrings. Flex the glutes. Pull that leg up into the side. Bring that ankle up as high as you can. Bring the ankle back down. Lift that knee. And bring the knee to the front. That is 1. We're going to do 10 more. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. Up, down, knee. 10. All right, we got one last leg, one more set. We're almost done. Let's go. Start by bringing the leg back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull the knee behind you, lift the right leg up to the side, rotate so that your ankle comes up, then rotate all the way back down so that your knee is high, and then bring the knee forward. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 more. Let's go. Back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a quick break. My other hip is tired. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Whew. All right. We have done 10 hip cars. Left and right, back and forth, for a total of 40 hip cars. If you are just popping in, we are doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching, starting a couple minutes ago. And we do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little community, and hopefully together, suffering, sharing good vibes, we make a bunch of progress towards our side splits together. Whew, man, I'm out of breath. Okay, we just did hip cars. That was the first warm-up exercise. We're going to go into our second warm-up exercise, and that is the elephant walks. They look a little bit like this. We're going to bring our belly button down towards the ground. If they look like a hamstring stretch, that's because it's basically the same motion. You got it. From here, we're just going to chill for a second. This is just the warm-up. You don't have to do anything intense. We're warming up. Bring your belly button down towards the ground. Feel those hamstrings tighten up, and try your best to get as low as you can while folding at the hips. Which means bring your belly button down. Cool? If your knees are starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can give them a slight bend, and that will relieve a little bit of pressure, and you can fold a little bit further to compensate for the fact that you're bending. Cool? We're going to hang out here for a couple more seconds, and then we're going to start moving around. Whew. 3, 2, 1. All right, moving on. We're going to start bending one knee very intentionally. We're going to straighten out the other leg, and we're going to switch sides. You can adjust your stance. You can widen a little bit to help you with balance. And I want you to keep bringing the belly button down as low as you can while you go from side to side. This will feel a little weird. You got a whole bunch of muscle, a whole bunch of other soft tissue shifting around in there in your tight hamstrings. Ooh, even your hamstrings. They are made of 3 different muscles. One of them is called the bicep. It's the bicep of your legs. And that basically means that one end has 2 attachment points and one end has 1 attachment point. So really it feels like there's 4 ropes of muscle in your leg, and they are all shifting around when you are in this position. So if it feels weird, that's why. You got lots of stuff going on in the back of your legs. Underneath the skin. Okay, now we have done some of these for a couple of seconds. Let's just do it for 3 more seconds, and then we're going to move on into some thoracic rotation. Keep on trying to bring your belly button down. 3, 2, 1, and come on out of that. If your toes are a little bit tingly, your calves are feeling a little bit tingly, that is totally normal. Hanging out and doing that shifting work at the end range of our motion does a little bit of what is called nerve flossing or nerve stretching, and that tingly sensation is just a little bit of that. Whew. If it's not painful, you're probably fine. Cool? All right, let's continue with some thoracic rotation. We're going to get right back into that same position. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten the other leg. We're going to take this opposite hand and go to the straightened leg. We're going to push and rotate our chest, and we're going to extend our arms behind us. So right now, my right leg is straight. My left arm is pushing off my right leg. My chest is rotated to the right. My right arm is up and in the air. My head is turned to the right, looking at the hands and trying to reach behind us. Whew. Come on down, rest, and do the other side. So right leg is bent, left leg is straight, right hand pushing against left leg, chest rotating to the left, left arm into the air, head looking at hand. Breathe, reach, and back down. That's 1. Let's do 5 more. Take your time, relax, breathe, and reach. That's 1. If you want to start feeling your hamstrings again, you can always bring that belly button down before you start reaching. 2. I want you to try your best to actually reach your arms further and further behind you for these 5 reps. After each rep, take a look at where your arms are pointing and see if on the next rep you can go a little bit further. I think that's 5. Whew, come on up. Air out your shirt. I hope you're warming up because this is the point. Oh, all right. Take a couple of breaths, relax, grab a sip of water if you need it, and we're going to move on into the hardest part of the whole entire workout, the Cossack switches. The Cossack switches look a little bit like this. We are opening up our legs decently wide. We're pointing our toes out to the corners of the wall. And don't worry if this isn't perfect. We can adjust at any time once we're in it. In fact, we're definitely going to adjust, so don't worry at all. Come on down and drop into a squished old squatty position. I want you to try your best to keep your heels down for a second here and feel the calf stretch and the Achilles tendon tightening up. I want you to bring your knees over your toes, like so. I want you to feel the pressure in the ankle. I want you to feel the pressure in the hip. I want you to hang out here for a little bit, just a couple of seconds. Then, I want you to find a comfortable-ish position, and that might mean you have to rotate the leg so it's pointing directly forward or maybe directly to the side. And I want you to try your best to relax in this position. Your heels will probably come up, and that is okay. What we're trying to do is get a little bit of a squish here and get our bodies a little bit more comfortable with this deep position while we talk about some other stuff. Over here on the other side, my heel is down, my toes are up, and my knees are up. This is called external leg rotation. And external leg rotation is totally needed for your hips so that your thigh bone does not smash into your leg bone when we're doing the side splits. Right now, if you ignore the fact that I'm squatting on this side, this leg is basically in position to do a side split. And that's why we train using this position, because we want to get these muscles a little bit stronger. Cool? All right, we've hung on this side for a little bit, so let's scoot our butts over to the other side. You can put your hands down, keep your butt low to the ground, and switch over to the other side. On this side, once again, I want your knees to travel in the same direction that your toes are pointing. So if your toes are pointing that way, your knee is going that way. I want you to feel the Achilles tendon stretch, the calf stretch. Feel the pressure in the front of the ankle. Feel the pressure in the hip. Keep your heels down for this part, this very beginning part, so you really feel the stretch. And then, now, try and find a position that's comfortable for you to sit and rest in so you can really squish down. And if your heel comes up, it's totally fine. Whew. Once again, we're here on this side, and this is called external rotation of the leg. The heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are up because we're rotating them out to the outside, and that's why it's called external rotation. Okay, I'm going to hang out here for a couple more seconds. You don't have to move, but I'm going to start demonstrating the Cossack switch itself. The Cossack switch looks like this. We are shifting our butts over to the other side to get into this position on the other side. When you are on the other side, I want you to try your best to keep your heels down and adjust and tweak until you find a way to do that. Cool? We got options. If you are struggling a little bit, you can put your hands down as you move from side to side. You can extend your arms out in front of you to help you with balance and not use your hands for help. You can sit up a little bit straighter and make it a little bit more difficult on your low back. You can stick your arms out, stand up super straight as you go from side to side to make the whole thing a ton more challenging. You get to decide what you want to do. Let's do 10 of these. Come on up and get started. I'm going to demonstrate a couple more with the hands down. Remember, this leg that's extended is basically in a side split stretch, and we want to get those muscles stronger. So spend a second here at the bottom, really almost pull your body with this ankle and work on that long leg as well as the squatting leg. I have absolutely no idea how many of I've done. I'll pretend this is number 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. All right, that's it. We're done. It was hard, I know. But we need to do that strength building to get stronger in these incredible ranges of motion. So that when we get into the side splits later, you'll feel like, oh, I can do this. I've done this before. This isn't that bad. I'm strong here, all right? This is all for making sure your brain is confident, because if your brain knows you can handle the range of motion, it'll be easier for it to relax in it. But also it's for your own confidence, right? If you know you can go hang out this deep with your hips this low to the ground, when we do this side splits and both legs are confused and stretched out, you'll be like, I've done something like this before. Don't worry. Cool? All right, that was the Cossack switch. We are switching over to the actual stretches, and we are done with the warm-up. We're gonna need a little bit of a cushion for the hamstring stretch that's coming up, the first stretch. If you want, you can use a old sneaker, a chancla, a flip-flop, something with a little bit of foam to give your knee a little bit of padding. You can use a yoga block if you have it. If you have a Pilates mat or a yoga mat, perfect. If you have cushions, old dog beds, just your dog's regular bed, by all means, grab that. Whew. I'm gonna shut up for a second, read some chat, drink some coffee so I can catch my breath. Ken Matcha asked the perfect question. How often do you go live? I want to try to come back every time. I don't know why I read that with such a sarcastic voice. We go live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 21 minutes ago. So it's this time, and it's every day. There's actually going to be one exception, so I just remembered. Friday night, I will be traveling. So I will not be able to make that time on Friday night, but I will schedule something when I have it figured out. It will probably be either Saturday morning instead of Friday night, or the opposite. It might be Friday, like midday. That means fewer people will be able to attend, but I want you to know because I just remembered. Anyways, in general, the lives are all 9 p.m. Eastern, starting 21 minutes ago, and we do this every day. So come on back and keep on hanging out. Especially, if you're trying to get prepared for a New Year's resolution and you want to do some fitness, some exercise every day, I am here every day. 99% of the time it's at 9 p.m. That's a lot of nines. Anyways, okay. I said I would stop talking and I would drink coffee, but I have instead just talked a lot. Angel says, oh wow, that's challenging. Does that mean my ankles are weak? Hold on. Let me see if there's anything else prior to that. Let's go. It's time to stretch. Ooh, Angel, I love the energy. Okay, so this is challenging. Does that mean my ankles are weak? It doesn't necessarily mean your ankles are weak. It could mean that your ankles are very tight. And I think for the most part, we do two main things that require ankle flexibility. The main thing that I keep on talking about is bringing the knees forward and getting this stretch in the calf for the ankles. And where else are we using a lot of ankle flexibility? Here is pretty passive. You don't need to point your toes or lift your toes up necessarily. This side, your ankles are definitely working and trying to keep you stable. In the Cossack switch, does that mean your ankles are weak? It could. It could most definitely mean that. I think your ankles are probably fine because you do a lot of walking, I assume, in regular life. There is definitely a lot of pressure on the ankles here. If you are struggling with balancing on one foot when we're doing the hip cars, perhaps your ankles are a little weak. But if you're feeling a lot of pressure and discomfort while doing the Cossack switch, I think maybe you just need to work on the form a little bit and finding smooth directions for your ankles to travel in, because your ankles aren't designed to be super free flowing. There's a couple of places where they get stuck. Let me know if that helps. Okay, in the meantime, let's get into the hamstring stretch. We're going to drop down onto one knee for this hamstring stretch because we're going to stick one leg out in front. So, if you have not yet grabbed something, it's too late. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. You can go grab whatever you need to grab for your knee. And we are trying to bring our hamstrings, wow, fumbling with words. We're trying to bring our belly button down to our thighs. Okay? That is the basis of pretty much everything that we do. It's all about the belly button, and it's always to the thighs or to the floor. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. All right? I want you to widen your stance just enough that you're not struggling with balance. All right? But I don't want you to really open up that leg and start doing something completely different. So point your hips, point your shoulders directly in front of you. Put your leg maybe in front plus 2 inches to the right so that you have a little bit better balance. Bring the belly button down. Get into this position. Your hamstrings are super tight. Oh man, super tight. Take a big deep breath. Inhale. Slowly exhale and try to fold deeper as you exhale. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Okay, take some normal breaths. Whew. Normal breaths. Relax. Okay, let's do another inhale, exhale, and see if we can get a little bit deeper in the stretch, and then we will start our 30-second hold. Inhale. Slow exhale. Fold. Bring that belly button down. Stick that butt out behind you. Fold, 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 fold. All right, once you are completely stuck, this is too intense. Your hamstrings are crying. Let's hold this for 30 seconds, and we will be ready to move on. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, come on out of that hamstring stretch. Oh, squat, curl around, rest, and when you got a breath, come back over and start over on the other side. Drop that knee down. Square up those hips, point them directly forward, point your shoulders forward, point your head forward, stick that leg forward, pull it in just a little bit. We're not trying to do a full-on front split. We're trying to focus on the hamstring. So you can pull that leg into the hip socket and fold forward. Widen the stance if you need to for your balance. And fold forward. Oh, you might notice one side is a little bit more flexible than the other. I believe my right hamstring is a little looser than the other side. In this case, my left side. Bring that belly button down. Let's go. Deep inhale, exhale. Exhale. Fold. Remember, this is about your hips, your belly button coming down. If your head and your chest are doing a lot of movement, you're not actually making the stretch any better. You're just straining your neck and your back. Whew. Okay. Take some normal breaths. Inhale, exhale one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. All right, that's it. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, bring that leg in. Oh. Ah. Relax, come into standing, and You can get rid of the cushion. You don't need it anymore. You can return it to your dog if it's the dog bed. You can throw the chancla at your kids if they've been doing something bad. We are ready to move on. Okay, that was the first of our 5 stretches. For most of the stretches, we just do a 30-second hold of the stretch. If it's a single leg stretch, we do 30 seconds each. And if it's not a single leg one, we just do 30 seconds until we get into the side splits. The side splits are the 5th and final stretch. We do 3 rounds of 30 seconds, and in between, we shake it out, we get loose. We try to do as much recovery as possible in a short amount of time so that we can get into a deeper side split stretch. Whew. And I'm going to come. I feel like you're going to throw the chancla at your kids. I've dreamt it. I've thought about it. I don't have kids, but I've, you know, wow, I feel like that's a really unhealthy thing to say. I've dreamt about throwing slippers at my unborn children. Eesh. Man, don't clip this. I don't think I have enough viewers to care, but don't clip this. Okay. We are getting into the second stretch, and that is the butterfly stretch. Let's go. Bring your feet together. Bring your legs in towards your groin. Straighten out that back. Have the head, the shoulders, the hips all touch the wall behind you. And you can focus on bring your knees to the ground. I want you to use these outer thigh muscles, the glutes, to open up your legs as much as you can and try your best to bring your knees to the ground. We do this because we want to strengthen our muscles. We want to have control over the position, and we want you to be masters of your body. I don't know why I said that in such a dramatic voice. Anyways, once you are in this position, you should feel that there's a little bit of pressure coming from the wall, because more likely than not, you're going to be a little bit less flexible, and you're going to be struggling with trying to keep this posture while pushing your legs down using your own muscles. The wall is here to help keep you stable and help you focus on the muscles that matter. Whew. So, once you have contracted those outer thigh muscles, those glutes, and you've really tried to open up your legs as much as you can, we're going to apply a little bit of extra force from the wall. Okay, put your hands down near your knees, apply a little bit of pressure, really open it up. Don't forget, we're still contracting those muscles. Now, maybe you'll feel a lot of pressure in the back of your head, in the tops of your shoulders, and that is the wall basically keeping you stable while you push into your legs. If you're pushing, something needs to counteract that power, right? In this case, the wall is doing it. Cool. I feel like that sentence didn't make any sense. I started jumping into physics. Let's just go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. If you're super tired, you can relax the muscles we've been contracting for a second. Rest a second. And then keep on contracting them again. You'll start feeling the difference between the muscles that you really want to contract versus the muscles that are actually fighting your hands. Because when you're first starting, it's hard to figure out which muscles exactly you need to contract in order to open up the hips a little bit more. Whew, we're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let the hands go first. If your legs feel like they're dead and won't move anymore, that's okay. Just take your arms, move your legs a little bit, and with a little bit of movement, they'll start coming back to life. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Whew, that is the second stretch. We are going to go right on into stretch number 3. It is called the standing pancake. Oh, come up into standing when you can, and take some nice, big, relaxing breaths. In the standing pancake, we are trying to fold our belly buttons down to the ground. It looks a little bit like this. If you know anything about the pancake, you know the legs want to be a little bit wide open, and that's true, but we don't have to do anything crazy. If this is as far as you can get, there's plenty. The goal is to fold forward and bring the belly button down. So, from the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. like we're just trying to touch our toes or touch the floor, except, you know, our legs are a little wider open. From here, I want you to imagine the bottoms of your butt, you know, where the bone is, that's like kind of pointy and sharp. I want you to imagine pointing it directly behind you or even slightly up into the air. And I want you to imagine bringing your belly button down to the ground. All right? That is your hips. We want your hips to fold, and we want your hips to fold so that they go whoosh into your legs. It's going to be really hard. It's going to take a lot of time and effort. So for now, just point your butt up into the air, point your belly button into the ground, and try to bring that belly button down. Cool? If you are in this ish position, gravity is doing a lot to help bring your chest down and help you fold forward. And if you extend your arms, it'll help you even more. So you'll figure out what's comfortable, what you're able to do. I recommend you push your boundaries and figure out what is maximally possible. And then when you're too tired to hold it, you can put your arms down and relax a little bit. Okay, that's it. Let's get into position. Stick the hips back and point them up. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, come on up out of that stretch. Ooh. Pull your legs in. So, what we just did is a combination of stretching and strengthening. And it's probably a little bit more intense in the strengthening area than in the stretching area because we are holding a really, really extended position. And we're trying to fold forward. We're focusing on bringing the belly button down, but we're also contracting the leg muscles to keep us from slipping out into a deeper stretch. And if that doesn't sound like what you were doing, don't worry. You don't have to think about the technicalities of it. Your muscles were feeling tight and they were holding you up, and that's all that matters. Cool. That was the standing pancake. Your inner thighs are probably a little bit tired. Your hamstrings are probably a little bit tired. We've been resting for a couple of seconds now, so they should start feeling a little bit better, a little bit more normal. And with that, it's time to move into our fourth stretch, the figure four, or the pigeon. The figure four stretch basically looks like this. We bring the ankle across to the other side of the body, and it makes this thing that kind of looks like the number 4. And then we are really concerned about lifting that leg up, bringing the belly button down towards that leg, and feeling the stretch out here in the side of the hip in the glute. That is basically what we're focusing on. And if you've done some yoga or some online videos in the past, then you know if we go like this and we lay down, this is basically a pigeon stretch, right? Alternatively, we have the figure 4 stretch. And I really, for the life of me, can't remember if we did pigeon or figure 4 yesterday, but I'm gonna do pigeon today because I feel like we did figure 4. In the pigeon stretch, we are trying to do exactly what I showed you. Bring the leg across the body, trying to bring our chest down. So if you want, you can aim the midpoint of your leg for the midpoint in your chest. Bring it down like so. And that is 90% of the exercise. From the side, I want you to get your hips down low on the ground first and then fold forward. I don't want you to just come down forward and bring your hips way up so that your hips are higher than your head. All right? I want you to really fold at the hips and feel that stretch out here. Whew. Next up, this leg behind us. If you watch some yoga videos, you probably know that in a pigeon stretch, a lot of people are trying to get to this position where this leg is straight back behind you. I think you should be able to do it for what we need in the stretch, which happens to be we're just chilling down here. We're not strengthening. So you should be able to just lay down and chill like this, because it's basically the same as this, and rolling over. You shouldn't have that much stress in the muscle here because we're not trying to hang out like so and stretch out the hips. So go ahead and give that a try and see if you can just roll over into the position if you've never gotten into it before. If you keep your chest low to the ground, you might be able to just pull it off. If you are not able to pull it off because I'm wrong, and that's okay, you can bend your knee. With the knee bent, we still get to focus on that hip, which is on the other side of my body, which you can't see on the camera. We can still focus on that hip, and we can get all the benefits from the pigeon stretch that we want for the side splits. But you lose a little bit of the bonus benefits of doing this. However, I do want to emphasize that if we spend the whole time in this position all the way down, this leg isn't getting stretched out that much anyway. So you're not actually missing out on that much benefit because we're not doing something like this. Cool? All right. That was a very tiring demonstration of the pigeon. We got one last thing. If you really care about the pigeon and you really want to get better at the pigeon and you want to have that leg behind you and you just need to create some space for the leg to be back there, you can elevate the front leg. All right? What I mean by that, and please don't do this with a yoga block, actually use something like a couch. But if you elevate the leg in the front, it opens up this space down here, and that gives you room for your leg to be at this angle so that you can get into position a little bit easier. Cool? And as you get more advanced, as your hips open up, this back leg opens up, you can lower yourself back to the ground, get rid of your blocks, and you'll be ready for a pigeon on the ground. Cool. All right. That's a whole bunch of explanation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you are already a pro or a regular on the show, you have already started stretching, because we're only just getting into now and you could have been stretching for like a whole minute already. All right, let's go. Which side am I facing? I want this side. Cool. Let's get into position. Remember, keep the hips low. Stick that leg out behind you. If you fold forward a little bit to begin with, you'll need less flexibility in that back leg. We're bringing the midpoint of our chest to the midpoint of our legs. We're pushing the ankle away from us and holding it there. And that's it. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Remember, we're feeling it out here in this outer hip. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Oh. Roll on over, switch to the other side, and get into position again on the other side. Remember, we're bringing the ankle all the way across to the other side of the body. We're pushing the ankle away so that it doesn't tuck in underneath us and make the stretch really easy. Fold forward, keep the hips low, and 30 seconds. 30. 29, 28, 27, 26, remember to breathe, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, we're done. We're done with all the stretches that we're going to do before the actual side splits. We have pre-stretched everything that we are going to use in the side splits, and now we are super prepared for the side splits. But before we do that, let's grab a sip of water and drink some coffee and go through some chat. If you're just joining and you have no idea what we're doing, we do 45-ish minutes of live side split stretch, and it's already been 40 minutes. So it's going to be a little bit longer than 45 minutes today for sure. And we have just done 3 warm-up exercises and 4 stretches. It's time for the side splits. That's what's coming up next. And we will be doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds and doing some rest in between. I'm going to scroll through the chat real quick to see if there's anything I am missing. A whole bunch of people that followed live. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Genmaicha says, this one is hard for me. I can't remember where this message came in, so let me know if you want a little bit more input. We always did this stretch in dance class. Yes, the pigeon is super useful, and I definitely also learned it in dance. Now that I think about it, that absolutely is where I first experienced it. Yoga came after, but I have just forgotten whole chunks of memory in my life. Fashion psychologist, the stretch feels more powerful for me with the blocks. Ooh, okay, that is a really good point. When you have the blocks and you elevate, you are actually putting a lot of pressure into the hip. Instead of this hip hanging out on the ground and being supported, and by hip, I mean the whole entire leg is supported. Actually, maybe I should demonstrate this way. You're just, muscles are holding it up. And because it's just muscles holding up your leg, right? It's doing this thing. It can feel a lot more intense than the actual relaxed version where you're on the ground folding forward, because you have to elevate your hips with your own muscle power. So that is a really good point. Man, crawling back over to the phone is so slow. Fashion says, yes, more intense. Chess says, I feel it more in the hamstrings when doing the pigeon. Oh, interesting. Okay. I definitely also feel it right here on the inside of the leg. I definitely don't feel it as much as the outside of the glute, but that makes a lot of sense because, like I've said, the hamstrings connect from the bottom of your hips into your knee. So anytime you're folding anything at all, those muscles are pulling tight because the bottom of your butt is going whoosh and pulling into this. So when you're doing the pigeon, you should feel a little bit of a hamstring stretch because you're still pulling that muscle going from here up the leg into just below the knee tight. So if you're feeling a little bit of a hamstring stretch, that makes total sense. It's totally normal. Okay. Whew. I think that is most of the chat. Oh, Finici Monino says, I've been enjoying these exercises. Lovely. Mechanicist also has sent a high five. All right. Lovely. Thank you, everybody, for keeping up the energy, helping me keep up my energy. And the real Ms. Blue on YouTube says, I got my front and back splits today. Consistency works. Don't give up. Wow. Amazing. I love it. That's awesome. Okay. Let's go. It's time for some side splits. Oh, the real Ms. Blue says thank you. And that's my next goal. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, side splits. Last sip of coffee. Last sip of water. Let's get into it. That wasn't a sip. That was more of a gulp. But let's move on. We're doing the side splits. And one of the things I want you to focus on is safety and the sense of security. If you are feeling scared, if you're feeling a lot of tension, you're nervous, it's going to be really difficult for your muscles to relax, and it's going to be really difficult for your stretch to get to its full length. All right, so right here, we got old reliable wall. We've used it for a bunch of reasons, for the butterfly, for balance, and now we're going to use it as a way to protect ourselves from busting our butts. Okay, if you take one step in front of the wall, about 8 to 12 inches, and you get into your side split position, you start falling backwards. You're like, oh no, what's happening? If the wall is there to keep you safe, then maybe your shoulder will hit, maybe your butt will hit, but you'll only have fallen a couple of inches and everything will be fine. So Get comfortable with knowing that you're close enough to the wall that will help keep you safe when you are feeling off balance. Just make sure you don't have sharp, pointy doorknobs or light switches that are pretty low that will stab you in the back because, it's not really the wall's fault that you decided to do your side splits there. It's your fault. Okay, let's continue. If you start falling forward, if you put your hands down, you should be more or less able to catch yourself. So you don't have to worry about the other direction. It's just the wall behind you that you need to help keep you safe. As you do more of these, maybe you'll feel more and more comfortable and you won't really need the wall anymore. And maybe you'll get so low that the fall onto the ground will be the equivalent of falling backwards, not that far. So for as long as you need it, the wall is your best friend. Cool? All right, let's open up those legs. Hang out. Get deeper into that stretch. If it's uncomfortable, you can always come up a little bit. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable just yet. Fold forward at the hips. Put your hands down like you're doing a mini push-up. We're not doing a push-up for push-up's sake. We are shifting body weight into our arms so that there's a little bit less weight in the legs, and that makes it easier to externally rotate. We talked about this in the Cossack switches in the warm-up earlier, but externally rotating means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. And we're doing that on both sides. Heels down, toes up, knees up. And from here, you might notice that you can already slip out into a deeper side split stretch just like that. If you can't, if you're totally stuck right now, that's totally okay. Don't worry. We'll slowly walk our hands back towards our hips. We're going to take some of that weight that we put over there. We're going to put it right back into our legs. And it's going to help us get into a deeper stretched position. We're going to take a couple of quick breaths. Relax as much as we can. And then we're going to do a little wiggle from side to side to see if it's just a little bit of friction and our sticky feet holding us back from a deeper side split. Whew. And once you are as deep as you think you can get for the moment, let's start our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, we're almost done, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward. Oh, pull your legs in. And kneel here for a second. Rest. That was the first of our 30-second side split hold. Relax. Take a deep breath. Chill to the best of your ability. And when you can, come back up into standing. We're going to shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. If you want, you can casually jog in place, just get a little bit of movement in. You don't have to. You can just laze around and be like, oh man, that was brutal. Take another breath, and we're going to start shaking it out. What that looks like is this. We're going to flick water off of our freshly washed hands and single leg. We're going to flick, 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 shake, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle on one side. We're going to do the same on the other side. Flick, 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 flick. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. No, it looks a little funny, but what we're trying to do is force our muscles to relax. And when your legs start getting more comfortable, being floppy and loose and shaky and jello-y and noodly, then you'll know that the muscles are relaxed. Because if they were as tense as they were when we were doing the side split, you would move like this. You'd be just moving at the joint. You look like a crazy robot. So, shake out those legs. Let them relax. Flop around. Wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Whew. We're going to very intentionally do a little bit of hip rotation. And by that, I just mean rotate your leg in and out at that hip socket for a second. Try to keep your hips actually totally stable and not moving. We don't have to do that many, and we don't have to do a crazy range of motion. Just doing a little bit to loosen up those muscles in the hip, because when we're hanging out in the side split, they suffer a lot. Cool? All right, with that, we're gonna do a couple of quick joint checks just to make sure everything is moving okay, and then we'll be ready to get on to side split number 2. Joint checks look a little bit like this. We're just gonna do a quick hip circle. If anything feels weird, then stop, pay some attention to it. If nothing feels weird, we're gonna keep on moving on. High knees, real quick, work those hip flexors, drop into a mini squat, put some pressure in the knees, put some pressure in the ankles, put some pressure in the feet, do a calf raise. And if everything feels normal, everything is good, then we're ready to move on into side split number 2. Let's go. Get your butt back to that wall, take one step in front of it, open up those legs, and focus on bringing your hips as low to the ground as you can. Fold forward, put your hands down like you're gonna do a mini push-up. Take that weight, shift it into your hands so it's easier to externally rotate the legs. Your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. Heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, you can see if you can just magically slide deeper into the side split. If you can, amazing. That was the purpose of that relaxing. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Put that body weight right back into your hips. Increase the suffering. Okay. And then we're going to do a little wiggle from side to side. See if just a little bit of friction is all that's holding us back from a slightly deeper side split. Take a deep breath. Relax. And time for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. You can try a little wiggle at any time to see if you can get just a little bit deeper. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Shift your hips forward, walk your hands forward, pull your knees in, and since this is round 2, it'll probably be a little bit more difficult to pull your legs in. It'll probably be a bit more tired, so chill, relax for a second. Whew. My left ankle is shaking behind my leg. You can't see it, but it's shaking. Okay. Now, when you can, come back up into standing. Do a little bit of light jogging in place just to remind your legs how to move and work again. And we're going to shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. As you get more familiar with that shaking, that flopping, that wiggling, your legs, you can put a little bit more power behind it, give it a little bit more motion, and we just want them to feel loose. You don't have to do this for very long. 5 to 10 seconds is more than enough. And when your muscles are feeling a little bit more loose, I want you to wiggle again at that hip. In the first round, we're very intentional about very slowly and thoughtfully getting the leg to work in that hip. This time, I want you to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more chill. Just shake the leg out. And now that we've done both those things, add in whatever you think you might need, whatever you feel like is tense, whatever you feel like is tight. Maybe you have something that I'm not thinking of. And breathe. We're taking some extra time here because we want our muscles to relax. We want our muscles to recover before we go into the third and final round of these side splits. So if you want, you can keep on shaking. You can keep on wiggling. You can shake a lot more stuff out, including your arms, because they do work a lot to hold you up. Now, let's do some joint checks. Hip circles. If anything feels weird, go ahead and stop. Go check on it, focus on it. If nothing feels weird, then we are ready to move on. Pop into that mini squat, put some pressure in the knees, put some pressure in the ankles, come up onto those toes, do a couple of calf raises, and if you are feeling good in all of those places, it's time for some side splits. Actually, keep shaking while you shake. If you're just joining in, we do 45-ish minutes an hour of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency. We come in at 9 p.m. Eastern every day, so about an hour ago. And the goal is for me to keep showing up, for you to keep showing up, us bring good vibes to each other and helping to support each other while we do the suffering that is stretching every single day. Hopefully, with the community, with the live, with the consistency, we'll get a lot of practice and make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, get notified, do all those cool things, and keep on coming back because we're here pretty much every day. Okay, round 3, let's do it. Wall, one step in front, open up those legs, fold, put your hands down, mini push-up, put the weight in front of you so it's easier to externally rotate. Your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. Slide out. Take a deep breath. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can get into a deeper stretch by breaking the friction, holding your feet back. And once you are as deep as you can get, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward, pull your body in. Your legs are probably really tired. So, chill for a second, kneel, relax, breathe. And when you can, come back into standing, and we're gonna shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. Whew. Once you have started loosening up, your legs are feeling a little bit more normal, you can shake a little bit more aggressively. You can add in a little bit more movement at the hip. You can let that ankle relax and flop around like a little paddle. And you don't have to do this all in one go. If this is your first time ever on the live, then take your time, slowly build up to it. You can keep on focusing on the shake, shake, shake. That looks like this. Okay? Now, since it's the last one, I really want you to focus on doing this internal, external rotation at the hip. Keep the hips in the same position and bring your knee either in or out for just a couple of reps. It doesn't have to be crazy. In, out, in, out, in, out. Shake out the legs one more time. Make sure they're feeling loose, they're feeling good. We are ready to move on. Let's do our joint checks one last time. Make sure everything is feeling good before you go off and do the rest of whatever you gotta do today. Hip circles. Oh. High knees. Pop into that mini squat. Put some pressure in the knees. Put some pressure in the ankles. Put some pressure in those toes. Come up on that calf raise. And once you have done all those things, all those muscles seem to be more or less normal, then we are done with our side splits for today. Whew. Okay, coming over to the chat to take a look at the comments that I've been missing. And we can wrap up. Okay. We've been going for about 59 minutes, just under an hour. It's 10:03, but I started a couple minutes late. And let's scroll through the chat. What was the last thing that I read? Yes, more intense. Okay. Ganowski has just gotten the #1 gifted badge. Ganowski, thank you so much. I appreciate it. David A25 has gotten number 3. Ooh. Okay. Scroll. Oh, hey, a bunch of people have sent a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you so much. I usually focus super deep on looking for comments, and I don't really notice what the additional fonts say, but I appreciate the little gifs and doodads. I know occasionally when I'm all the way back there, things appear on my head, and I know that's a function of gifting. So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for putting your hard-earned money into fun animations for my head. I appreciate it. Finici Monino says, that was hard. If I'm ever covering my face like this, is because I have a window, really, really big window, sort of behind my phone, and it is really bright, and that's where this lighting comes from. And that's why I do this, so I cannot stare at the light. Let's see. Gayeta says, we did it. Yes, we are done. We are totally done. Gamacha says, yes, thank you. My inner thigh muscles hurt. I hope that hurt is just that you don't use your inner muscles very often and it's maybe a little bit of soreness. But if it's actual pain and it lasts for more than, I don't know, the next 10 minutes and it's starting impacting your day, then definitely take a couple of days off and let it rest. And then after that, we got to work on some inner thigh strength. Your inner thighs, these muscles, the adductors, are actually super important for pretty much every stretch that we're going to do related to the side splits. It's important for the pancake because our legs are opening while we fold forward. It's obviously important for the actual side splits. And if it is getting a little bit uncomfortable already, we probably need to do some strengthening and get it up and ready for some hard stuff. If you want it, the strengthening that is, to be directly related to how we're doing the side splits, you can probably do something that's closer to isometric contractions, so you can get into a position that is comfortable for you. And you can try really hard to squeeze and bring your legs together without actually moving. That's what isometric is. You're not actually moving, but you're contracting muscles. You're pushing against something, but not moving. If you are really strong, you can actually probably... Oh man, I need something with way less friction than that. My feet. If you're strong enough, you are actually able to use those inner thigh muscles, the adductors, to pull your legs in together. If you have something stable to use and you want to work on the adductors, there is a type of plank called the Copenhagen plank. I don't know why it's called the Copenhagen plank. Let me see if this is strong enough to hold my weight. It seems like it is. Okay, but you can do something a little bit like this. You're using this leg to support the bottom of your body, and basically it's going to start the inner thighs firing so that you can strengthen those. Right, that's the goal, inner thighs. You can do a version of this on a couch. You can do a version of this on a coffee table, a nightstand, assuming all those things are stable enough. Obviously you can't see what's happening, but this leg is balancing on a couch now. Whew. Okay, inner thigh. Don't immediately go into this right now if your inner thigh is a little bit uncomfortable already. But take a couple of days off, and then we can start strengthening the inner thighs using that type of stretch or that type of exercise. I specifically mentioned this because you basically don't need any equipment, and you can start right wherever you are right now. Cool? Okay, let's see. Fashion psychologist says, I've been getting better. I did 15 seconds and the 30-second last 2 rounds. 30-second TV last 2 rounds? 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure all I need to take away from this message is you're putting the time in, you're crushing it, and you're making progress. That's awesome, fashion psychologist. Fashion psychologist. Fashion psychologist. My tongue is going all over the place. Okay. Finissimo Nino says, arm is too weak for that. Ooh, if that's the case, you can totally stick your arm down, give yourself a little bit of support. You can find ways to make that a little bit more chill. I think technically you can just have your shoulder in the ground and still lift yourself off the ground this way. I've never seen anybody do it quite that way, but technically it's possible. But I think if you have a little bit of padding and you just want to keep your shoulders, and I don't know. the more ridiculous things I'm doing, the more core work it takes. And I don't know what I just dropped. That sounded bad. So maybe if your arms can't hold you up, that exact leg workout, the Copenhagen plank, is not the right one for you at the moment. And off the top of my head, under lots of live stress, I can't think of anything at the moment. So I'll get back to you. All right. Again, my chest says, I'm not sure if my inner thighs are weak, but they feel tight. That is very normal. A lot of the time in the stretching world, if you watch enough YouTube videos about stretching, people will say if you are feeling really tight, it is probably because your legs are not strong enough. If you are not sure, that's probably going to be, for the general population, you probably need to work on strength and flexibility a little bit more. If you feel like you've got really strong inner thighs and they're just tight, then you probably know that you have really strong inner thighs. For example, if you've gone to a gym and you used one of those machines that like you sit down and then you squeeze your legs together, if you can max out that machine and you still feel like your inner thighs are really tight, then your inner thighs are just really tight because that machine is hard. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me if you feel like the Copenhagen planks are super easy. You're gonna hold this for like a minute and just be like, oh yes, nice, and then do a couple of reps of up and down, and then do whatever else you want to do from this position. Then your inner thighs are probably really strong. If they are just tight, then maybe you want to try a couple of dynamic stretches, which is a little bit more movement based to get your thighs to do a bit more. I'm trying to think what would be a little bit more dynamic. If you're in the pancake, you can try to do something that feels more like a good morning or a hip thrust. It's not necessarily directly tied to the adductors because you're moving very, very, very little. But maybe that little tiny bit of encouragement to get the adductors to loosen up will be all that you need. Because if you have tight adductors, if you try to do a really big movement, it might be a little bit difficult because you have tight adductors. So maybe find a movement where you can only move so much because of all the other limitations of the movement, so that you can get a little bit of movement in the adductor. All the other muscles will probably fire a lot harder, so you get tired from all the other stuff first, but we don't want to overtax your adductors, so let's start with that. Okay, let's see. Ganasti says, thank you, exclamation point. Gayeta says, see you later. Have a good day, Ken, and everyone. Ooh, thank you, Gayeta. Always sending the good vibes. Let's scroll all the way down. And I think that is all of the chat over here on TikTok. I'm going to scroll back over to YouTube. Aisha, oh, welcome back. It's been a long time. Hi. Aisha said, hey, really appreciate the videos you've been making, and your consistency journey has been inspiring. Thank you. Stay awesome. Ah, that is so awesome. Thank you, Aisha. I appreciate it. Aisha, who has commented on YouTube, so our TikTokers will be super confused, has been an OG participant in the lives. When I first started going live, basically this time last year, Aisha followed me on Instagram and has been a part of the live for at least since like February, March, maybe even earlier than that, and has been super consistent for a really, really long time. At some point, Instagram made some rule changes and made it so that I can't go live on Instagram without 1,000 followers. I have finally just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram again, so I can go live now. But we shifted everything over to YouTube and TikTok, which is where you're all finding me right now. And yeah, now we're building on YouTube and TikTok. Okay. Gen Maicha says, I'll try the Copenhagen exercise and see if I'm weak or not. LOL. Lovely. Thank you for the stretch session. Hope to see you next time. Great. Okay. With that, I think it is time to wrap up and call it for the night. Aisha, you have just reminded me that I sent a chat over to our little group of super loyal people on Instagram, and I have not checked that thing in a while. So I'm gonna go do that in a little bit. All right. Thank you everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed the stretch. I hope you felt really good. I hope you enjoyed the good vibes. I try to bring good energy. I try to joke around. Occasionally, because it's my morning, I'm traveling. I'm on the other side of the world. I fumble with my words at the beginning of the day. And yeah, I hope you find that enjoyable and not go, why can't he actually say the things that he's trying to say? That's weird. Okay. I hope you had fun. I hope you felt really good after the stretches. I hope you enjoyed the vibes, and I hope you enjoyed the community that we are building. Because we're doing this every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you are free, you should come join in because we suffer on the floor together. We struggle together, including myself, because I can't do the side splits. If you've been here, you can see that. And with a bunch of people, hopefully, we make it a lot easier to do some side splits for everybody. Cool. That's it from me for today. I hope to see you soon. Finissimo Nino. Thank you for subscribing or following, whatever it's called on this platform. Thank you for coming here. I'll see you tomorrow. Closing the chat here on TikTok. And bye-bye. All right. Aisha said, good shot. I have some stuff to say. Peace later. Awesome. Okay. Yes, I will dig back into that chat because I just remembered I sent a message out a couple weeks ago, and I completely forgot to check it. So that's on me, but I'll be there soon. Okay, goodbye everybody on YouTube. Eduardo, thank you for sending awesome emojis. Foxy Roxy W, thank you for engaging in the chat and keeping everybody informed with whatever is happening. Thank you for thinking my balance is good. I use the wall a lot actually these days. We've been really focusing on form, or I've been really focusing on form, and that's why the hip cars are feeling more and more tiring every single day. But because I'm focusing on the form, I'm really trying to reach that end range of motion in my hip, and I'm using the walls a lot more for support so that I can try to lift my leg a little bit higher. If I try to do that without the support, then I'd probably lose balance a lot more. The Real Miss Blue, awesome with the feedback about consistency, and Eduardo, always sending good vibes. Okay, great. I will see you guys all later. Peace out. Bye.